Hello. Zugi Zork, thank you for 55 months. Appreciate it. How y'all doing? Architect, thank you for 65 months. It goes. I'm trying to get some work done. And it was looking like, well, basically I just wasn't feeling like I was going to get to a point where I could have a real stream, so I figured I'd better check in. And I realized with my little desk thing, I could have chat over here with me. He told me he's doing some floor stuff, so you might hear some things. Yeah, some floor noises. Just your normal floor noises.
Everything's fine.
So how's things going? Yeah, no, I have to focus down some work stuff. It is what it is. Where one thing I really desperately need to do is get way, way better at JavaScript. It is a problem that I have. I've been finding. The old JavaScript. Yeah. I just ran into something today that I didn't understand. Like at all. Made me feel super stupid. But I just don't know vanilla JavaScript well as I would like, unfortunately.
Everything's fine.
You don't. A floor noise is fine. A floor noise and a yell every time is more. It's like.
I love you.
I think part of my problem was that I leaned on jQuery for a long time. And I didn't really improve my vanilla JavaScript knowledge for a number of years. I've definitely improved it a lot in the past, like 2 years, but I still run into some shit that I just don't, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like today, I ran into a map, but it was like inverted. It's basically code I just couldn't read. It was somebody doing like class stuff. So they were like doing a more object-oriented thing, which we don't really use a lot of. And there was this variable that was supposed to be set on the class that, what was going on?
Well, the variable.
It was doing a, it was mapping a JSON object in. I don't have it in front of me, so I'm forgetting now what it was doing.
It was something like it was supposed to bring in all the data.
That's.
That was a different
I was
one.
trying to be much more specific than that. I don't think you're going to beat me at that.
Well, I just remember the process that you explained to me when I was trying to
Gotcha.
remind you of that, and then maybe you would remember real things instead of.
No, I like
Third-hand
vaguely
knowledge.
remember it. I can't. I could just open it up. Sick, thank you for 95 months.
Anyway, I proved my theory.
What
So
was your theory?
So there was a spot that was open to be.
Oh, no nail spot?
Yeah, well, it's like a mile nail spot.
Hunkster, thank you for 81 months. Benny, thank you for 87 months.
So that should be good to go. And then go straight and then right after that.
Nice.
So I'll leave you to do your stream, so I won't be fucking everything up. And then I'll come back and fuck up all your meetings.
It's all good.
But only a little bit more. Should be able to get one more strip down. And then we'll back you away from the wall. And it will be cool. Shut.
Cool. Sounds good.
Have fun. Have fun, stream.
Thank you. I'm just gonna look at the thing. The thing that was tripping me up. Yeah, I just find like sometimes people write code that I simply cannot read. And I get really frustrated because I feel like I should be able to read it. So what's happening is it's setting a class scoped variable to a function that just pulls in a blob of JSON dot find, and then, you know, iterating over each object in the find. And then it does return bang object dot something down the hierarchy dot map. And then it does thing index, and then return this dot thing index equals thing. And then after the map, dot includes false. And I'm just like, what is going on? There's two returns. The map is inverted. What are we saying? I feel like what it's saying is, in this JSON, find something that matches this map. But it's such a, like, sort of inside out way of approaching that logic from my perspective. It's just one of those problems where, like, the logic is probably sound, but it's so optimized that you have to unravel the whole thing to understand what the logic is. You can't just glance at it and understand, unless you really know this approach super well, in which case then you probably can, but not for me. Not for me, because I don't write stuff this way. Comments? Ha. And I'd say that's pretty good description of the, the value of my streams. It's one of those things where I can't even, like, Google anything to tell me, like, why would someone do this? Because it's so specific to the task at hand. Like, I can look up shit about maps, but it's not gonna help me. I didn't ask ChatGPT, and maybe I should have. Maybe that would have helped me. If I ask the new Bing, isn't it just gonna, like, start crying or whatever it does? Just weeping? I'm not sure that that'll be super helpful. But yeah, I'm just behind, and I'm trying to get caught up so that, like, this whole week isn't a nightmare. But it's not looking good. Every damn thing that I'm trying to do is, I don't know, just everything I've approached today has been a damn rabbit hole. Every single thing. And it sucks. It sucks. Like, I was looking for just low-hanging fruit. And every time I dove into something thinking, like, all right, I'm gonna get ahead of the game. Nah, dude. No. You fucked up. It's just not my day, basically. Oh, yeah? Yeah. what I'm dealing with is I don't know. It's not like big JavaScript problems. It's just a lot of things that are a lot more arduous than they seemed like they would be. I think I get like how do I put it? I get too reliant on or too comfortable with my own preferred setup. And anything that takes me off-road from that just fucks me up. Takes me a lot longer to get up to speed. I also feel like I've been burned out, which is probably obvious given the shit I was doing last month. Come on, just do the thing. Do what I wanted you to do, you bastard. I hate when I write some CSS and nothing happens. Why did nothing happen? Ah, that should not be nested there. That is somewhere else. Yeah. I have found that it is advantageous to be good at it. I really do not have the hatred for it that like everybody else has. But that's probably because I'm good at it. And I don't have to write the amount of CSS that most people do, I feel, based off of the shit I see. I'm pretty good at seeing through the bullshit and just knowing like the exact minimum amount of shit necessary. And that means I don't actually have to write a lot of CSS. Modern browsers and resets and shit like Flexbox and Grid really make a huge difference. And if you really leverage all those things well, it's so simple to do like any layout really. But you also have to plan your HTML structure well. That's another thing I notice is that people seem to have a tendency to just do crazy bullshit with the fucking HTML structure. and it's awful. Nesting things that don't need to be nested, or like basically a common thing I see is people paint themselves into a corner with HTML structure where it's harder to do CSS however you need to do it for absolutely no reason. Like most of the time you would think, well, maybe it's for accessibility, because that's the main thing where you're going to get fucked up, where you have to do some weird shit to meet some sort of accessibility demands. But I see people doing that shit like they're doing it for fun. Like this. Like, why are you making this shit harder for yourself? Well, yeah. And I think that a lot of the frameworks suck. Like I've been really resisting learning shit like React and whatever, because it is so trying to like, I don't know. As somebody who's done a lot of front end, it feels like the antithesis of doing good front end. It feels like they want you to do bad front end by basically trying to obfuscate it away as far as they can. Like we've made it so you don't have to touch it. You might not even see it. It's like, this is not a solution. This is so awful for front end developers working with this shit. And really, the only time I don't like working on front end, I love working on it when I'm working with my own sort of back end that I've put together, my own structure, my own build system. But when I'm working on somebody else's shit, I hate it, because that's where I run into all the bullshit, all the like fucking kitchen sink shit that people throw in that you do not need. And then depending on your situation, like the situation I'm in now, where I have to like fight against this dumb shit that they did, that's not fun. That's never fun. I would go so far as to say it's fucking miserable. Not a fan. Because I just want to get in and get the job done. I don't want to be wrestling with their fucking like 15 classes deep bullshit fucking thing that they did. Anyway, hi, hello. That's how my day is going. How did they do this? Why did they do this? Why does this have this? This container has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes on it. 8 fucking classes. To what end? They break everything out into like these customizable pieces, I guess, but it's so unmanageable when you do it this way. It's just ugly. It's just what I have in front of my face, you know. It's just, that's all I'm saying. You aren't going to need it. Sometimes nested divs are necessary. I don't know how stringent you are. Are you saying like literally making a nested div for every single class without purpose? Because there is some fuckery you need to do sometimes with like wrappers and stuff to deal with. Like one of the quirks of Flexbox is that it doesn't, the way that it's calculated doesn't have like an inherent width and height unless you specify. So sometimes you have to do some fuckery to make it work with other things that expect a width and height, which does mean nesting. Ah, I don't think I see that so much. What was I even doing? Oh, right. So choose one of these fun classes to use. Yeah. Another one I'm not a fan of is Tailwind. At first, I was intrigued by it, but in the end, I realized it's an absolute fucking nightmare. Because Tailwind is basically like it's sort of like a bootstrap on the fly, like define your own, roll your own bootstrap on the fly sort of approach to it, to a framework. Trouble is, if you want to make any fucking changes later, you gotta go in and track down all the stupid fucking classes and change them there. It's so fucking dumb. It's great, probably, if you're doing something like React, where everything's componentized, so then you just go change a component. But it's fucking dumb if you're using, if you're building a less componentized front end or more traditional style front end. Having to track down, like finding the classes to change the fucking size of the margin and the padding and the font size and the font styles and that. You know what it feels like? It feels like HTML1, where you had font tags and color tags and everything, and you had to go pick through all, like, what are we doing? How do we end up back at HTML1 here with this shit? It's certainly not useless or inherently bad, but in the context in which I've experienced it, it is not good. Not good, not good, not good. You can do stuff like that with Tailwind as well, where you just have your build system set up. I think Tailwind provides stuff like that, where basically if there's stuff that just isn't used, that it's not included in the actual build. It only includes what's used. I think that's actually the default position of Tailwind. If you don't use any Tailwind, then you just don't even just output an empty file, I guess. I'm glad I never have to touch shit like Bootstrap. Hopefully I never will again. Which frankly is the same sort of thing of like trying to escape dealing with the front end instead of just straight dealing with the front end, which I think is a much better result. It's been a long damn day. You are a busy dude. I don't think I have any experience with Bulma at all. I think it's a similar deal, isn't it? Yeah. The modern CSS framework that just works. Bulma is a free open source framework that provides ready-to-use front-end components that you can easily combine to build responsive web interfaces. npm install Bulma. No CSS knowledge required. Yeah. This sort of stuff's not for me. But it definitely is good for spooling up something fast and not having to put much effort into it. It just always has that samey look to it because is that. I imagine that it probably has similar sort of like global customization that Tailwind does. I mean, yeah. Ballman was an inventor, right? If I remember. Something like that. She could invent a framework. I think another reason why people are so hooked on those is that people still feel like responsive is this insanely crazy task or something. But it's really not that bad. Just whip up some breakpoint mix-ins and you do your cell phone breakpoint and you do your desktop breakpoint and you call it a fucking day. Because almost nobody's using tablets. And then you just approach it with that in mind, and it's pretty straightforward, really. Oh, I'm trying to decide what piece of this to do next. What's the most bang for my buck? Sorry, I know this is not thrilling. I'm trying to find anything I can to shortcut this. I'm here. I'm just trying to figure something out. What in the world? No, you're good. Frankly, I'm just up to some boring shit. Huh. Eh, it's, I don't know. People do wild shit. One of the most difficult things I find is to like align multiple programmers on a style. It's really difficult to shake somebody away from their approach that they're used to. Like, I've encountered devs. I don't know. The way that I approach stuff is I want it to be readable and accessible to people other than myself. But I've encountered devs that are like the total opposite. They don't adhere to naming conventions. They don't care about white space. And I don't mean like the whole like how many spaces or how many tabs or just whatever. I mean like nonsensical white space. Nested things where there's no white space indicating any nesting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you should do it for yourself as well. But I actually do, I am mindful of the fact that other people are going to look at it and have to work with it as well, is the way I think about it. Like, I don't give a shit how many spaces or if you use tabs or whatever, as long as it's like readably indented. But I've seen so much code where it's just absolute chaos. A really weird phenomenon that I see a lot that really boggles my mind because I simply just don't understand. I don't understand how you would how you could live with this, I guess, is um, a misnamed class or a misnamed function or something like that. So you've got a bunch of them, right? And you have like a naming convention, and then you get it wrong on one of the classes. Why would you preserve the typo? But I see that so much. I don't understand. Like, you see all the other ones around it are right. This one is obviously wrong. Why did you keep it? Why? What are you doing? It would drive me nuts. Well, the situation that I'm talking of, though, is like a function that's called once in completely custom written code. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not fixing it either. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I guess the reason I am so flummoxed by that is like, you had to type it the second time, right? So when you were typing it the second time, did you just accidentally do the same exact typo? Or did you catch that there was a typo and decide not to fix the typo? Maybe, yeah, maybe just auto completed it. And my God, like trying to get a bunch of people to adhere to some standards is a nightmare task. I I don't even know what you're supposed to do to make that happen. It seems like people will not do it unless they have a gun to their head or something. I mean, presumably it depends on your situation. I guess I just don't even know how to approach that, because it's like, it feels weird to impose stuff on other people knowing that they don't want to do it. And not being confident that one way is the right way and the other way is not the right way, that sort of thing. I guess what makes something the right way is just that it's agreed upon, and not necessarily that it's like somehow objectively the correct way. Man, I forgot. Uh, this thing I'm working on, this sucks. It involves a an app that's just horrific, and I don't wanna. Oh, I don't wanna. Sorry, I'm just typing away over here, but I am reading chat. typing away over here. Wondering if stepanation is a word. Thanks for hanging out with me, even though this is what it is. It's a little bit better than just being alone. Masi, thank you for the biddies. Yeah, it got down, Justin Subathon got down to like 15 minutes or something like that, right? Close to. It got low. Under 10 minutes even, holy shit. Yeah, that's crazy. Uh, I'm looking at I'm looking at what I'm working on. It just says div class in the middle of it. I'm like, what? What's going on? Yeah, I got to take div class. I can't believe how amazingly well Justin Subathon has gone. I mean, I believe he's deserving. It's just like, even in that case, it's off the charts, truly off the charts. Well, I'm super glad for him because I feel like this is definitely something he needed. And I think it's pretty obvious it's going to make a massive difference for him, which is very good. Yeah, the brain power stuff is funny. Apollo's just a really good hype man, you know? Border radius 100. I run everything through the RetroTink 5X right now, Kiwi. So the OSSC is kind of in retirement at the moment. I think though that the OSSC will probably have uses. Whoa, did you guys hear that weird pop? What the hell is that? I guess my mic. The road, but why? Why did that happen? Balls, I say balls. God damn it. I do have some habits that annoy me. Like when I set up a flex box, I often will forget to set the direction. I'm refreshing, expecting to see something beautiful, and I see something horrible. Excuse me. Why isn't this working? My stupid. Don't answer that. Overridden by the unseen override. That'll get you. There we go. Why no workos? Why no workos? Arg. Arg, I say you, arg. It's just true. There we go. Sheesh. Sheesh, dude. Sheesh. Sheeshish. Oh, sheesh. I get it. I get it. Yeah. I'm getting it. I just got it. Oh. I kept thinking I was moving fast on stuff today. I don't know why. Because I am not. Yeah, just apples and oranges shit. Oh, fucking God. I kept like undoing and redoing a thing. Just kept fat fingering it over and over again. Does this is be content? Good, good. Oh. When does Resident Evil 4 come out? The remake. Is it the 24th? I think it is. I still got a lot of Last of Us Part 2 to do. Friday. So crazy. Doesn't feel like it should be here already. And yet, it is. There went the mic again. Just started picking up. It's like when I started typing, it was like, oh, you want to, your voice sounds like a keyboard. For just a second, it seems to think that. I have no idea. I haven't touched Notepad++ for 1 million years, I think. 1 million. I am all VS Code all day. Um, 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 um. What am I looking for? Do I need this? Uh-oh, I have to sneeze. Hold on. I just, yeah, I just use VS Code for everything. It's just so dang good. Ugh. I'm repeating myself so much, but I just don't want to be here for the rest of my life. I hate when I get in that situation. But it is what it is. I don't even know what would make me switch off of BS. Yay, I got one piece of something done. Hooray! Great job, me. You did it. We'll never forget you, me. Oh my God. I mean, if that happened, I would walk into the ocean. I don't know, man. I thought him buying Twitter would never happen as well, you know? And then it did. He also thought that. Yep. Mr. Jokes around on Twitter. Uh, what did I do here? Why did I do it? Uh, um, that's correct. There we go. Sorry. Slightly losing my mind for a moment. Well, that didn't do what it was supposed to. Well, maybe it did. Oh, balls. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Twitter. For me, it was like just a fun little site. I don't really have the opinion people tend to have about such things where like it's all bad because while there can be like certainly a preponderance of more of this or more of that on the various shit sites, wherever you go, you will find people. They're always going to have shit. And when it comes to something like big and huge like Twitter, it's always going to have a mix of all of that to some degree. Exceptions would be like, well, I don't know if exception is the right word, but like 4chan has more toxic people probably than the normies. God, this thing I'm working on, it feels like it's going to take a million years. I'm probably going to need someone to take my hand and drag me to where they hang out on Mastodon because it's just something where I don't feel the drive to figure it out myself. God, I have to build this in the worst way too. Time for choose medicine. Yeah, I've only used TweetDeck. Pretty much since it existed, I think. He's coming on. Am I unmuted? I think I am. Paul Timmet. Thank you for 14 months. Evening, Mr. Paul Timmet. God, I still have so much to do, dude. But I still have more time. If I just keep going, I can save myself shame tomorrow. Time is a frick. Look, I know you're right. You're always right. I'm always wrong. I know this. Oh no. Oh no. Image, why are you so big? Why? Don't be so big. It's not allowed. Nah, I mean, like, you are right that this is no way to be. It's definitely no way to be. And I ought to stop being this way. Instead of doing cool, fun stuff tonight, I'm doing this. So, you know. No, why did I do that? That's wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Well, that just made everything worse. Width before height or height before width? Yep, yep. Yep, yep. I agree. Was just wondering. Oh, these variants don't have images? Why would they? What a silly idea.
Well, I've kind of sort of got the thing, but it ugly. Yeah, it's just in my head, I'm thinking, I've still got a lot to do tomorrow. But I think my usefulness is waning. I should probably wrap it up. But thanks for hanging out with me. I know this wasn't terribly interesting, so I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a lovely night, and I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully on time. But I would say there's a good chance tomorrow is going to be similar. But this was kind of cool. So maybe I'll put you on earlier, like maybe at my normal stream time, if it's going to be, me working again. And it'll just be hanging out and shooting the shit. Alrighty. Have a great night, everybody. See you next stream.